A wild card kiss begins with a prequel, A Wild Card Night.
Nearly 8 years ago. Chapter 1. Harlan. There are two kinds of men in the world, those who love suits and those who hate them. Why love one? A well-made suit fits like a dream. As for why you might hate one, don't ask me. I'm a lover, not a hater. No one ever came to this guy for the negative on anything. Hate isn't my style. But suits are, and I have a whole closet full of hand-tailored duds for occasions like the colleague's wedding where I'm headed tonight. I pad across the carpet of my walk-in closet and appraise my options, flicking through the crisply pressed shirts hanging along one wall. I bypass the charcoal, midnight black, and dark blue, the paisley and the striped, until I reach a shirt in the palest of blues. I slide it off the hanger, put it on, and smooth the front. This color always wins the eyes of the ladies. Now for the suit. I've got more than a dozen custom ones to pick from. Comes with the territory. As a pro football player, I'm required to dress to the nines on game day. I consider my faves and zero in on the winner. It's not your father's Navy suit, that's for sure. No bankers would wear this color either. The deep, rich blue speaks up, gets noticed. It's a hue that says, let's have some fun tonight, sweetheart. And I am a fun kind of guy, so that's the romantic vibe I like putting out in the universe. I put on the pants and a chocolate brown belt, then head to the tie hanger. I opt for a pink silk one with tiny illustrations of playing cards scattered over it. May luck be a very lovely lady tonight. I grab the suit jacket, sling it over my shoulder on one finger, and spin around in front of the full-length mirror. Yep. Well done, sir. I tell my reflection. I am ready for the celebration. The bride and groom will say I do, and hearts will go a-fluttering. Yes. Weddings, another thing I love. Two people vowing to cherish each other for the rest of their lives. It melted my heart every time one of my sisters tied the knot, promising forever and fidelity. Whether a couple can keep that promise, stay true to that vow, well, that's another issue. I shudder, shucking off those unpleasant thoughts. Not today, brain. As I head down the stairs, I laser in on the best thing about weddings, for me, that is, as an attendee. Weddings are the best place to meet women, talk to women, dance with women. Three of my favorite things in the world to do. Fuck this online shit. Swiping left or right and snapping this or that is not for me. I'm all about face-to-face chemistry and real-life chit-chat. Weddings are perfect for a social cat like me, as they're usually brimming with single women in the mood for a man. Pretty sure I've never met a wedding where I haven't gotten laid, and I wouldn't mind keeping up that streak tonight. I leave my place and head to the limo waiting at the curb just outside on California Street. I slow to survey the sleek black set of wheels and whistle in appreciation. The driver, a slim, efficient man in a black suit, pops out to open the door for me. Thank you very much, I tell him. And nice to meet you. I'm Harlan. The man gives a surprised smile. Darian, pleasure to meet you too, he says. I slide into the back seat to join my teammate Jones Beckett. Damn, you look almost as good as I do, I say, checking out my friend in his Tom Ford suit. The team's star receiver rolls his blue eyes. Thanks, you look almost as rich as me. I laugh as I smooth my hand down my tie. Thanks for giving me a new goal. Jones settles into the seat as the driver pulls onto Fillmore. Thanks for being my... He stops to sketch air quotes. Date tonight. Of course, anything for the cause of love, buddy. Jones sighs heavily and drags a hand down his face. Fuck, man. I've got to figure this out, and soon. No argument here. My friend has it bad for the Renegade's lead publicist. He tried to keep it a secret from me and everyone else, and I understand why, but I put two and two together. Jillian's perfect for him, whip-smart and loyal, but Jones has been rehabbing his reputation, trying to shake off a checkered past, and he hasn't figured out how to bring their forbidden romance into the light. More power to the two of them for running the relationship obstacle course. Just the thought of all those hurdles is too much for me. I prefer my dalliances simple, mutually enjoyable, and free of angst. The strategy has served me well, mostly, I should say. For the last several years. I like to date, I like to have fun, and I like to fuck, but with my career still on the upswing, anything more complicated than that is not part of my playbook. I don't envy you, pal, I tell Jones as the driver swings onto Steiner Street. I don't envy me either. What am I supposed to do? You could, just a thought, sort this shit out and have a relationship. I offer with a smile. I'm encouraging like that. But seriously, sometimes you just have to man up and do the hard things in life. I'm working on it, Harlan, and I think I've got a plan for telling the team and my new sponsor, but it'll have to wait until this weekend. Tonight, I just need a wingman so I can spend some time with Jillian. I tap my sternum. One fantastic grade A top choice wingman at your service. It's not my place to pressure him to come clean. He knows what he needs to do, and he's got to do it in his own damn time. Plus, I know my role at this wedding. I'm Jones's cover, and that's fine. When the car stops on her block, Jones bounds up the steps and returns with Jillian a few minutes later. She greets me as they slide into the car, but mostly they make I want to bang you backward, forward, and 6 ways to Sunday eyes at each other as she snuggles up against him. Would you like me to just get in the front seat with the driver? I offer, gesturing to the partition. You can have a wham-bam while I chat with Darian. He seemed chill. You don't have to do that, Jillian says, ducking her head as a smile plays across her face. We'll behave. I scoff. No need to behave on my account. I'm happy to shoot the breeze with the guy. I point to the speakers. I've got you under my skin pipes through the limo. He's got good taste in music. Jones runs a hand along Jillian's bare arm, and she shivers. Can't help myself, Jones says. Haven't seen her in a while. I could tell. The sexual tension between you two would fill an ice cream tub. I could scoop it up and serve it in a cone. Sexual tension swirl, I'd call it. Jones arches a brow. Seriously? What? I love sexual tension, I say with a grin. Everyone does, Harlan. Jones deadpans. Exactly. Marketing gold. I'll make millions. This idea is going to fund my retirement someday, I tease. Jillian narrows her eyes and shakes a warning finger. You better not retire anytime soon. You're only 29. You never know. That's why I'm always thinking ahead, I say, tapping my temple. Plan for the unexpected. Like how a minute later the car pulls over a few blocks from Jillian's place. We're just picking up my friend Katie, she explains. I turn my head, glancing toward the sidewalk, and whoa. Wait a hot, sexy, beautiful second. I stare at the vision in pink heading straight for this car, a knockout with a smile that has me waving a white flag. Her dress clings to her curves in all the right places and swishes around her knees. Silver heels complete that take-me-away-to-cloud-9 look she has going on. Her lush blonde hair falls in waves over her bare shoulders, which shimmer enticingly. I whip around to glare accusingly at Jones, then Jillian. Excuse me, why did no one tell me that Jillian's friend is an angel dressed in pink and the answer to my prayers? Jillian laughs. Presumptuous much, Harlan? Presumptuous a lot. I hit the intercom. Darian, I'll get the door. As you wish. I push open the door, step onto the street, and sweep out an arm for the bombshell. Your chariot, I say, gesturing to the car. The stunning blonde with eyes as blue as the sea flashes me a grin, with just a hint of naughty on her lips. Yes. What do you know? I was hoping for a chariot, and here you are. Her confident voice holds a touch of sarcasm as she slides into the car. I follow, sitting next to our newest passenger. Jillian clears her throat and makes the introductions. Jones, Harlan, this is my friend Katie. Let's see if I can pave a path to her dance card tonight. You're a goddess, Jillian, for inviting your beautiful friend. You know, she also has a good personality, Jillian says dryly. I narrow my eyes at the publicist. Oh, hush. I already figured that no friend of yours would be a wet blanket. I turn to the blonde, shooting her a big grin. I bet you're a firecracker, Katie. Her blue eyes go all kinds of flirty. I'm the aerial fireworks, Harlan, the finale at the end of the show. And I do believe I am officially in love. See, I knew that your sparkly personality would be perfect, but let me give you a proper greeting. I reach for Katie's hand, clasping it to press a kiss to her knuckles. How do you do tonight? I ask, all refined, a hint of my Atlanta roots coming through.
I do very well, she says. And aren't you quite the gentleman?
Once a Southern gentleman, always a Southern gentleman, especially in the presence of such a lovely, brilliant lady. Yes, I'm all manners on the outside, while on the inside I'm thinking, holy hell, I've already met my dream wedding hookup. She rolls her eyes, but she's smiling too as she tosses a glance at Jillian.
I can't believe he didn't warn me about this one in his oodles of flirt.
Jillian shrugs.
I didn't realize Harlan would be in such rare form tonight.
What would you have liked to know? I ask. That I'm patently charming, terrifically entertaining, possess gobs of sexy, endearing, can't resist vibes. Also, I pour an excellent... I stop to consider the bottles in the limo's bar. Tequila, whiskey, or vodka. Take your pick.
I'm a tequila girl,
Katie says, laughing.
And maybe warn a woman she has to keep up with a master charmer.
Sometimes surprises are fun. I grab a glass and pour her a splash, then do the same for myself. Jones and Jillian opt for water, and the four of us toast, our glasses clinking as Sinatra croons about the way you look tonight. To weddings, wingmen, and wingwomen, I say, casting my gaze from Katie to Jones and Jillian, then back to Katie, and to new friends. Her eyes twinkle as she taps my glass one more time.
I'll drink to all that, Mr. Charmer.
I knock back my liquor, and she does the same. I sigh happily at the turn the night has taken. Have I mentioned I can dance, too? It's one of my many talents.
What are your others?
She asks with that firecracker sizzle.
Besides running, blocking, and tackling.
She knows my skills. I can catch a football, too, tie any kind of knot, and I can also bake pies like nobody's business. She hums her approval.
I'll be saving a dance for you.
She studies my face, the corner of her lips screwing up in a smile.
So please save one for me.
Oh, I like weddings very much.
Chapter 2. Katie. I am a woman on a mission. I have a message to deliver to someone at this wedding, and I don't intend to mince words. That's why I said yes to Jillian's invite, and that's all I expected I would do tonight. Now, though, I'm thinking this event is going to be a whole lot more fun. Thanks to Mr. Dreamy Brown Eyes, who makes no bones about trying to charm my ass off. A hunk of a man in a tailored suit who's quick with his tongue? Let me order a double. He's precisely what I've been craving. I am done with bores and through with nitwits who can't hold a conversation. As we exit the limo, I set a hand on Harlan's hard-as-iron bicep. Nice guns. I tell him as we walk to the swank entrance of the hotel overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Thanks, I had them polished today at the gym. I squeeze harder. I do love a firm body. Well, I'd like to feel these arms when I take a spin on the dance floor with you. He flashes a megawatt smile at me as we head into the lobby. Be my guest. I will be counting down the minutes until that dance. Same here. He leans in close, dusts a kiss onto my cheek, and whispers, I'll save you 20, sweetheart. My heart flutters, and so do my lady parts. His voice, his kiss, his body, his confidence. I do like a man who knows his mind and uses his mouth. It's been ages since I've had a decent date. My social life has fallen by the wayside these past few months, while my sister and I have worked on our secret business plans. I've been mega busy juggling a day job and a burgeoning side hustle. Mornings and evenings, I grab any chance to teach extra yoga classes. That means activities in the man department have been few and far between. The handful of dates I've snagged recently have been snooze-worthy. Maybe that can change now. Though I don't have much time for flirting. My sister's flying up from Los Angeles tonight, and her plane gets in at 11. But that still leaves a window for a dance or two. This gal will take what she can get. Harlan turns into the row of seats, and I shamelessly check out his ass as he walks. There is just something about a man in a tailored suit, especially a man with a great butt, a butt I want to hold on to. Stop, Katie Madigan, stop. You can't think filthy thoughts in front of a preacher. Unless that's a justice of the peace up there, which I'm pretty sure it is. So it's totally permissible to be a bad girl. JPs don't mind dirty minds during a wedding ceremony. Harlan grabs a seat, then Jones sits next to him, then Jillian, and finally, I flank my bestie. We settle in, and when Pachelbel's canon begins, my heart rises to my throat. Memories of other weddings claw their way to the front of my mind, and I force them away. Stay present. Focus on the here and now. I zoom in on the bride and groom, though I hardly know them. They're Jillian's colleagues, and I'm simply her +1. Still, when the groom promises to love his bride so long as they both shall live, I choke up. Emotions, you bedevil me. I root around in my purse hunting for a tissue. I dab my eyes, then steal a glance at Jillian. Even through the silky black hair curtaining her face, I see she's biting her bottom lip, holding in a tear or two, I bet. I offer a few tissues, which she takes, mouthing, "Thank you," then swiping her cheeks. Once the happy couple exchanges their I-dos and their first married kiss, we stand and clap. They walk down the aisle, hands clasped, gazing all lovey-dovey at each other. What would it take to get to that place where you know you want to be with someone forever and ever? I can't picture it. Didn't see anything remotely like that while I was growing up. When the bride and groom leave the ballroom, I grab Jillian's arm and squeeze. Thank you for making me your date. I don't know a thing about those two, but I'm so stinking happy for them. I say with genuine emotion. Me too. Weddings get to me. She whispers, then her eyes stray to Jones. I squeeze her arm harder. Maybe your guy gets to you. I tease under my breath. She swats my arm. Stop knowing me too well. I shrug happily. Can't help it. It's our curse and our blessing as besties. I tip my forehead to the exit. Let's get you to the reception so you and Jones can play footsie under the table. She arches a brow. And maybe you in the running back? Ha! Let's focus on you. My first job tonight is to be her wing woman, and my job as her friend is to deliver my message. Once we make our way to the reception, I hunt for my opportunity. I've watched Jillian fall for this guy over the summer and into the football season, and he damn well better know exactly what he's got on his hands. A prize. When the dancing begins, I motion for Harlan to come closer so I can whisper in his ear. "Hey there," he says as he sheds his suit jacket, tossing it on the back of his chair. "You ready to cut a rug, sweetheart?" Not quite, but soon. First, though, I need to have a chat with Jones, and you're going to help me. "Hit me up," he says, rolling up the sleeves of his dress shirt. His forearms, his strong, muscular forearms are a little distracting. Fuck, they're a lot distracting. But I soldier on. Make some magic happen for me on the dance floor. You take Jillian for a whirl, and I'll grab her guy, since I need a quick chat. And then you and I can dance together to our heart's content. "Whatever the lady wants," he tells me, his eyes traveling down my body, then back up. "The lady shall get." Are you mentally undressing me? I ask, feeling quite bold. Seems I was. He says, unrepentant and confident as hell. What do you know? With a wink at me, he moves over to Jones and whispers something, nodding my way. Then they switch places, Harlan asking Jillian for a dance, and Jones locking eyes with me. "May I have this dance, Katie?" "You absolutely may." We step onto the parquet floor, and I set my hands chastely on his shoulders as we sway to an Adele tune. I was hoping to chat with you. His eyebrows shoot into his hairline. "Let's talk then." Jillian is head over heels crazy for Jones, and she's about to go out on a limb for him career-wise. I need to make sure he's the kind of man who will treat her like a queen. "Listen," I begin. "I'm a ride-or-die kind of gal. I've known Jillian since college, and she's my girl. I've got her back anytime she needs it. You know what that means, Jones." "Means I don't want to run into you in a dark alley?" I flash a big Texas smile. "You got that right, partner," I say, slipping in a touch of my once-upon-a-time Texas twang. "I hear you, boss. Despite our slip into comic stereotype, Joan gives a crisp nod of understanding. You better treat her well, I add. Seeming earnest enough, he answers, I will. But I'm taking no chances. I mean it. If she risks her job and her reputation for this romance, do not let her down. I know that you're a foot taller than I am and probably 150 pounds heavier, but I don't care. I will kick you in the balls if you hurt her. He flinches. Damn. Exactly. Joan seems like a good guy, but I am not messing around when it comes to my friend. She is the best person I know, and she prizes honesty and integrity. If you make a play for her, it had better be for real. You better put your whole heart into it. I hold his eye with a knife's edge look and flint in my voice. Or you will answer to me and my steel-toed cowboy boots. Jones meets my gaze without flinching, intensely serious. You will never need to break those out with me. Then he nods in a that explains a lot way. I can see why you're her best friend. Then we have an understanding. I let go as the song ends, stepping back to swipe one palm across the other. That's done. Good luck with the game this weekend. I will be rooting my ass off for the Renegades like I always do. Before Jones can reply, his handsome friend taps his shoulder, but Harlan's oh-so-charming smile is aimed at me. Hope you don't mind me interrupting, buddy, but the lady and I have 20 dances to work through, and I'd like to start right now. I'd like that too. My night will end far too soon, and I want to make the best of the next few hours. Chapter 3. Katie. Goodbye, Jones. Hello, Harlan. Let's see what your quicksilver feet can do, I say, and Harlan moves right in, sets his hands on my waist, and dips me. I am going to have so much fun with this hottie. From his $1,000,000 smile to his lush golden brown hair to his dreamy eyes, the man has heartbreaker written all over him. And that's fine by me, since my heart isn't on the table. So, what sort of dancing are we talking about? I ask. Do you dance like Magic Mike? He tugs playfully at his tie, jutting out his hip a la Dirty Dancer. If that's what you're looking for, Katie, I'm more than happy to offer you a lap dance. The way he says that, a soft Georgia lilt returning to his voice once more, makes my skin tingle. Yes, he could definitely strip down for me in private sometime. But just so I don't melt into a puddle on the dance floor, I turn up the tease. But maybe I want you to do the polka. On cue, he steps to the left. I step to the right a half-second later, and we both do a hop. A few more impromptu polka steps, and I'm laughing too hard to continue. I'll admit, I did not expect you to know such an old-fashioned dance. You underestimate me, Katie. Go ahead, try another. He challenges. Dance stump me. I can play this game. Foxtrot. Harlan steps forward, I step back. I'm breathless with laughter again. My turn now? He asks, all rumbly sexy. I did get 2 requests. Seems only fair to give you one. Then we need to tango. Harlan hauls me in close, and with my hand in his, thrusts our arms out to the side. No wonder this is the sexiest dance ever. You have to press your chest up against a hot man. Let's tango all night long. We dance deliciously close for a minute on the edge of the dance floor. I like the feel of his firm body very much. All right, I'll bite. Where did you learn to dance like that? Chippendales, he says as we settle into a casual slow dance sway. You moonlight at a dance club? Is that after your football games? He winks. Course it is. Huh, somehow, I doubt it, I say, even with your smooth moves. Harlan smiles, runs a finger down my nose. I'm from Georgia. A cotillion is mandatory. Aha, the Southern charm explained, I say, moving under the twinkling lights as the DJ crossfades into Never Tear Us Apart. I dip into the accent now and again for fun. I've been on the West Coast for many, many years,
but I ham it up with the guys and lay it on thick at practice so they can all bust my chops about my supposed southern drawl.
I flash a grin. Better watch out, or you might lose the chance to dip into the sound for fun altogether. He feigns shock.
Whatever will I do without my Atlanta charm?
I shrug helplessly. You'll just have to switch to San Francisco charm. Speaking of, how long have you lived here? You've been with the team for 6 years. He arches a brow, impressed or perhaps appreciative that I know that about him.
I have indeed. Before then, I went to college in Washington.
A husky?
Go dogs,
he says. So you've been out of the South and accent-free for quite some time now.
I have. 10 years, to be precise. But when I'm with my sisters and Mom, I sound all peachy again,
he says. And I probably sound like a bluebonnet, I say, sliding into the accent I lost long ago. Harlan blinks, pulls back.
Whoa, I'd never have known you were from the Lone Star State.
Born and raised, but truth be told, we moved to California when I started high school, though you can never entirely take the Texas out of the girl.
And who'd want to? Your personality is as big as that state,
he says. You have a line for everything, don't you?
Hey now, who said it was a line, sweetheart? I like your sass and I like talking to you.
He's too much, but I'm completely taken by that. Especially when my last 3 dates were so very, very lacking in everything that Harlan has. The most recent guy explained in depth the ins and outs of his job manufacturing windows. The man before that waxed on about his favorite episodes of Barney Miller, and his predecessor debated the whole time whether his ex-girlfriend was a bitch, a big bitch, or the biggest bitch. So, over the top or not, Harlan is galaxies better. Fine, fine. I fake a grudging admission. I don't mind chatting with you either.
Good. Now here's something I want to know.
He curls his hands tighter around my hips, a move that sends a zing through me.
Hypothetical situation. You walk into a trendy ice cream shop. You have to pick one of 2 flavors based only on the name. Are you getting a pint of swoon or sexual tension swirl?
A laugh bursts from me as I rest my palms on his big shoulders. That's easy. I'll get a double scoop, one of each. With dark eyes that glimmer with heat, he gives me an approving nod.
A woman after my own heart.
Oh, your heart thinks a lot about ice cream? Letting go of my hips, Harlan spins me in a dizzying circle, then yanks me close against his big wall of a chest.
It thinks a lot about a lot of things.
He slides a hand up my back, and I can't even fashion a comeback. That strong hand feels so good. And it hasn't just been a while since I've had a good date. It's been a while since, well, a lot of things. I generally try not to think with my libido, but my libido is pounding its fists and pitching a fit, wanting to take the wheel. When his fingertips coast across a sliver of bare skin near my spine, I shiver, and a breathless, wordless whisper stutters over my lips. He's quiet for perhaps the first time. A few seconds later, he lowers his voice to a husky murmur.
And what does your heart dwell on, Katie?
I try to think beyond the pleasure racing over my skin. Dancing. I answer low as I brush my fingers over his shoulders, indulging myself in touching him just like he's doing with me. I believe in fashion, friends, family, and flirting. His eyes never stray from mine, and they're full of daring.
Tonight, you shall have that last one till your cup runneth over.
That sounds like a pretty good deal. What's not good is that it's past 9 and I'll have to take off at 10:30. I can't change the countdown, so I vow to make the most of dancing and flirting with this man. We stay on the floor for another few songs, talking and flirting. Then he hooks his thumb toward the bar.
Glass of champagne to quench your thirst?
I'm in. We make our way to the bar, passing a terrace overlooking the sea. Everything from the sparkling lights to the swoony music to the ocean waves crashing in the distance makes this night feel like it could go on forever. But it can't.
Chapter 4. Harlan. With champagne flutes in hand, we head to the balcony, alone. It's deserted out here, and I'm over the moon because I'm eager to gobble up more time with her than find the perfect moment for a kiss. After that, I'm hoping we can kick it up more than a few notches at my place or hers. I've got a feeling Katie is game for that too. I clink my glass to hers. To weddings.
To wedding kisses,
She adds. Yup, perfect night. I take a drink and she does too. We set our glasses on the terrace wall at the same moment. Then she puts her pink purse next to them.
You truly can't beat this view,
She declares as she gazes at the ocean.
I'll miss San Francisco.
Wait, hold on. Are you leaving the city? Quickly, she shakes her head.
I mean, if I leave, I'd miss it. That's what I meant to say.
I arch a dubious brow. Are you sure? Are you Cinderella, planning to take off at the stroke of midnight? She laughs, a buoyant sound that kind of turns me on.
I promise I'll leave behind a glass slipper if I do.
My eyes coast down to her shoes. They're silver, Katie, not quite glass.
But close enough?
She asks, like she's hoping the answer is yes. Do you want to be Cinderella?
I have no desire to be in a fairy tale.
Her eyes flicker with hints of naughtiness, or maybe I'm just seeing my own wishes reflected back.
Unless it's the dirty kind.
Ah, and naughty hope wins the night. I step closer, brushing her hair off her shoulder. She trembles, and I don't think it's from the night air. And now we're talking the same language. I savor the anticipation in this moment, the moment before. There is little I love more than teasing a woman, than drawing out the high of expectation. I play with her hair, running the strands through my fingers, then dart my thumb to her cheek, stroking a soft line across her jaw. She breathes a shuddery sigh, and I inch closer but still don't touch. I wait, staring at those glossy pink lips. Katie lifts her chin slightly.
My language says kiss me. What does yours say?
I slide my palm over her shoulder, then down her bare arm. Goosebumps rise in its wake. Same, but a gentleman should ask, Katie. I say, may I kiss you?
Get your lips on mine.
You're my kind of woman, I tell her. Then I shut the fuck up. I close my eyes and brush my lips across hers. A jolt of pleasure slides down my spine as I taste her. Lip gloss and sweetness and a hint of champagne. Sugar and sparkles. So damn fitting. I start slow, exploring her lips with a gentle sweep of mine, letting the moment expand, enjoying every sensation, from the hitch in her breath to the jut of her hips to her soft hands traveling up my chest. I cup her cheek, running my thumb along her face, then I thread my hands into her hair. Soft strands slide through my fingers as I flick my tongue across the seam of her mouth, pressing a little harder. She parts her lips, inviting me in. Her eager hands fall to my hips, and in one swift move, she jerks me against her. Yes, ma'am. Wrapping a hand around the back of her head, I draw her lips close and her body closer. As we kiss, my other hand skims down her back to her ass. I squeeze, savoring the handful of flesh. This full-body kiss causes my bones to hum. She makes the sexiest sounds, little murmurs and sighs as our tongues get to know each other. Katie kisses like she talks, flirty, fiery, and full of sass. She doesn't simply relax as I take the lead. She kisses back all hard and rough, and I love it. Love it even more when she draws my bottom lip between hers, then nips me. It's like a zap of pleasure. We break apart for a second. Do I have a biter in my arms? I ask. Her eyes blaze with a yes.
Maybe a little. Promise I won't hurt you, Harlan,
She says, a little coy. Maybe I like a little hurt. A nibble here or there would do the trick. She tests me by running her lips along my jaw, then nipping. A sizzle of pleasure shoots through me. Oh, yes. I rasp as I grab her ass harder. With a throaty purr, her lips journey up my neck, peppering me with hungry kisses. When she reaches my ear, she nips on the lobe, then lets out a little roar like a lioness. I believe I have met my match. She's the fire to my fire. I want all her passion, and I want to give her every ounce of mine. I let go, back her up against the terrace edge, and meet her heated gaze. You like it the same way, sweetheart? I ask, my voice low and smoky.
Seems I do,
she says, reaching her hands around my neck, playing with the ends of my hair as I crowd her against the stone railing, my whole frame lined up with hers, so she can feel me, know how aroused I am, experience what she's done to me. I slide my hands down her sides, savoring her curves, enjoying, too, the wild look in her eyes as I touch her body. She shudders, and the sound urges me on. I drop my lips to the hollow of her throat where I can lick, kiss, suck. As I move along her sweet and spicy skin to her collarbone, I graze my teeth over her flesh.
Oh,
she says on a shiver, trembling in my arms. I nip a little harder, push my pelvis against her, meeting her move for move, moan for moan, giving as good as she gave, tit for tat. Speaking of, letting go of her hip, I roam a hand upward over the pink silk, then up a little higher, then higher still. Katie gasps, a needy, sexy sound, a lovely plea inviting me to indulge. So I do, cupping a breast, filling my hand. I squeeze, and she lets go of my mouth, tosses her head back, and moans against the night.
you.
Indeed. I'll take that as a compliment, thank you very much. But I want more. I want to please this woman to the stars and back. It's my kink, my passion, my pleasure. Giving. Katie, tell me what you want to do tonight, I murmur. I don't want to lead her into temptation. I want her to find it from within. She pouts.
I want you to take me home, spread me out on my bed, and do dirty things to me all night long.
Yes, there is a God. Taxi, I say, then bring my fingers to my lips like I'm about to whistle for one.
But
that word is the door slamming on all my wedding fantasies. Oh, why does there have to be a but when I want to deliver everything you want? She smiles softly, but sadly too.
I have to leave soon. My sister Olive is flying in tonight, and I need to pick her up in an hour. We have a meeting tomorrow morning for a new business venture.
That sounds exciting and thoroughly cock-blocking. But if I've learned one thing playing pro ball, it's that the play doesn't always go the way you planned. Sometimes your quarterback hands off so you can run with the ball. Sometimes he calls an audible and passes. Your success depends on how quickly you react to the action on the field. Let's see then, I say, because I can react damn quickly. It's Thursday night now. I'm on game lockdown Friday through Sunday. I have a sponsor event Monday night. How's Tuesday? She blinks, taking a second to catch up to my question, but she quickly does, and her blue eyes twinkle. To be sure, though, I add, by Tuesday, I mean I'm asking you on a date. I want to take you out on the town, have a good time with you. Then do to you all those decadent things that are racing through my head right now. Katie's nimble fingers make their way up my tie. She tugs, yanking me closer.
Tell me one naughty thing. Wait, hold on. Tell me where you're going to take me out first,
she says, letting go of my tie to run her palms down my chest, covering my pecs.
Then you can tell me something deliciously dirty.
Oh, I like the way her mind works. She knows her worth. My fingers wander across her stomach, making playful circles as I answer. I bet you'd like to do something a little competitive, a little showy. Her eyebrows rise.
I'm showy? You think I'm showy?
I sure do, and I think it's sexy as hell. Now let me finish, woman. She rolls her eyes.
Fine, finish.
I tap my chin like I'm deep in thought. I could take you out bowling, ballroom dancing, or to play my second favorite sport.
Sex is your second favorite sport?
She bats her lashes ever so innocently. I toss my head back, laughing. Sweetheart, sex is not a sport. For it to be a sport, it would require rules, regulations, and competition. And sex should never be a competition.
What is it then?
I don't answer right away, but shoot her a sly, knowing grin. Then I speak the truth from the bottom of my heart and cock. Sex is a devotion, ideally to the woman's pleasure. She murmurs her approval.
Ultimate charmer, that's you.
I will wear that title with pride. Now, as I was saying, my second favorite sport. Want to know what that is?
You know I do.
It's only one letter different from the one I play for a living. I trail off, eager to see how quickly she'll figure it out. She furrows her brow, and then 1-2 seconds later, her eyes pop.
Foosball! I love foosball!
She pokes my chest.
Bowling and foosball, pretty please. Then, devotion,
she says, all low and seductive like a phone sex operator. Tuesday night, Katie. It is on. I haul her in for another hot, passionate kiss, and we seal our plans for the best kind of date. I swallow her sighs, devouring her sounds. Maybe I'm a player. Maybe I came here tonight with my one-track mind on a mission. And yes, I desperately want to get Katie naked and writhing under me. But I'm also having a fantastic time talking to her. I've got a feeling with her, one I've never had before. A feeling that there's something brewing, something that sparks with fresh and daring possibilities. But tonight the clock is ticking, so I break the kiss. When do you need to go, sweetheart? She reaches for her purse from the wall, clicks it open, and takes out her phone.
I should leave in 15 minutes.
Her blue irises flicker with mischief.
You know, there's a lot we can do in 15 minutes.
How did I get so lucky and this woman so amazing? I must have been a very good boy in a past life. Chapter 5. Harlan. 1 minute later, we're in the bathroom. It's one of those classy hotel bathrooms. Only one stall with its own tiny lounge area with a carpet and mirror. Katie closes the door with a quiet snick, then locks it, pressing a finger to her lips. Shh. Not sure I can be quiet, I tease as she sets her purse on the counter.
You better be, Harlan, she whispers. If word gets out that you're the one getting blown at the sports reporter's wedding.
Yup. Past me was clearly a choir boy, an angel, even. But hold on. Wait, what if I want to make you see stars? That's my playbook. Give a woman pleasure, then do it again and again and again. A man shouldn't even think about coming until she's ridden to the moon and back 3 times, minimum. That's just polite.
You can save that for Tuesday, big guy.
There's nothing unclear about her intention when she undoes my belt, wiggles a brow, and licks her lips lasciviously.
I know what I like, and when I felt you press this fantastic hard-on against me earlier, I kept imagining what you'd taste like. Will that work for you?
My brain goes haywire. Yup. Officially, it's 100% nuts up there. All the circuits are frying, all the lights flashing, and the sparks flying. But I want to make you feel good, I say. Only it's a feeble protest because, holy hell, I don't think it's in my DNA to turn down a blowjob from a gorgeous woman, no matter how badly I want to give her O after O, not after she unzips my slacks, then sinks to the floor. Well, happy Thursday to me, then.
That's the idea.
The blonde beauty gazes up at me with sex in her eyes and dirty deeds on her parted lips. Oh, sweetheart, you look so fucking good on your knees.
I feel good on my knees, too,
she says, tugging down my black boxer briefs. My cock springs free. Katie's eyes pop like she just got everything she wanted for her birthday. I'm certainly glad she seems to think so, because I'd like her to gift wrap my dick with her mouth, lips, and tongue.
You're like hard candy.
She wraps a soft hand around the base. A quick burst of pleasure pulses through my body as she squeezes and strokes. I hope you like your candy good and long, I tell her.
Very, very long,
she says, pumping my cock in her fist, wasting no time. She dips her face to my dick and sucks the head between her lips. My blood surges. My fingers weave through her silky blonde hair while she flicks her tongue along my dick and pulls me deeper into her decadent mouth. Can it be Tuesday right now? Because I want this again. I whisper, my voice already rough with lust. My legs shake as Katie smiles wickedly up at me, the wild look in her eyes saying she wants this as much as I do, that she relishes giving. It's official. I have met my match. Your mouth is incredible, I murmur, electricity crackling along my nerve endings. The sight before me is out of this world. Sure, I left my home tonight a hopeful motherfucker, but I didn't imagine a beautiful, fun, feisty woman would haul me into a bathroom and take me to town with her throat. This is one hell of a night, even for a guy who likes to have his fun. And that's me. I'm the player, the good time guy. I don't lie, I don't lead women on, and I don't hide where I stand. And right now I'm standing with my pants at my thighs while the most captivating woman I've met in ages worships my dick and blows my mind too. And yet I'm also pretty sure something new is happening. Already I'm positive I want more than one date with her, maybe even more than a handful. With Katie, I could maybe see many wild nights like this, nights when I'm not a player at all. But as she flicks her tongue along my shaft, I lose my focus on the future. I am only interested in the here and now. Fuck yes. Won't take me long, sweetheart. I rasp out. In a second, she sucks harder, deeper, and with the fervor of a zealot. I succumb to the build, to the bliss barreling down my body, the delicious swirl of an orgasm that's not far off. But the gentleman hasn't left the building entirely. Just want to warn you, in case you don't want to swallow, I mutter. She hoovers. Holy hell. My toes curl in my shoes as she sucks even more intensely, the head of my dick hitting her throat. My brain jumps into sexual overdrive. I rock my hips, losing myself in the caress of her tight, hot lips. My climax pulls me under. I shudder, ecstasy racking my body as I come hard in her mouth. The world around me blurs. Yes, fucking yes, I grunt. I nearly black out from the crush of pleasure. I sink against the wall, savoring the aftershocks. A few seconds later, she's standing, smiling, looking more than satisfied. I open my eyes, reach for her, and bring her close.
So was that good?
She asks, a little nervous, hopeful too. Is she for real? Does she not know? Katie, that was Christmas cookies and a Vegas jackpot and a fourth down game-winning touchdown all on the same night. I want to get naked and explore your gorgeous body with my tongue and fingers and cock so badly I would do just about anything to delay your sister's flight. I make a flourishing gesture, flicking an invisible magic wand. Abracadabra. She sighs with a smile, which is the best way to sigh. Wait, second best. Sexy sighs while kissing are the first. Her baby blues sparkle.
Can you delay her flight an hour?
Then she holds up her hand, changing her mind.
Wait, nope, don't. I don't want to rush sex with you. I want to bask in it. I feel like I could be very greedy in bed with you, Harlan.
I rub my thumb along her lower lip. You should be greedy in bed. I want you to be. I glance at the clock on the wall. That took 7 minutes, start to finish. How about we see how good my skills are? Her lips part and her eyebrows rise dubiously.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I kind of take a while.
I can't resist. In a flash, we've swapped places and I press her back against the wall. Challenge accepted. The countdown is on.
Chapter 6. Katie. For the record, I didn't come to the wedding to, well, come, but I won't turn down a chance at an O from a hottie. Especially since I have a theory, the better the kisser, the better the kisser. The man's lips already drove my mouth wild. I can only imagine what he could do between my thighs. Trouble is, I need to be lying down, naked on a bed, thrashing around. I know myself. I like my oral sex and I like to enjoy every second of it. It's not bad standing, but it's much better when I can get all the way into it while horizontal. So when Harlan kneels, I grab his hand and tug the big guy back up. Let's save that, I tell him. He taps his temple.
Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Go down on Katie for a full hour of pussy worship. There, it's on my calendar.
He presses against me, hikes up my skirt and cups the lacy panel of my panties, making me shiver.
And this is on my agenda right now.
A tingle pulses through my legs as he pulls my panties to the side. The tingle morphs into a tremor of pleasure as he strokes my wetness.
Oh, sweetheart, you're so ready to come.
He rasps. He's not wrong. In seconds, I'm moaning under his touch, gasping as his fingers glide across my pussy. I do my best to be quiet, to keep my sounds and murmurs all to myself. But Harlan is just what I need. He's the antidote to my busy days and nights. He's the opposite of my dating life. Interesting, confident, entertaining. He's a bright, shining star in a dimly lit night sky. Hot sex with a handsome stranger who's hardly a stranger? Yes, please. The man's hands are masterful. Long, strong fingers stroke me, teasing at my clit, rubbing in tantalizing circles. Oh, so good. Yes. I don't have to help things along with a finger on the pink button. This man knows his way around my body. Everything he's doing is just right. So right that I'm vibrating with pleasure. I grab hold of his arms, clasping his big biceps. I'm so close. I whisper, squeezing my eyes shut as his fingers fly. A shudder speeds through my body on a breakaway sprint. My orgasm has a mind of its own, building strength, intensity, then exploding in one delicious, mind-bending frenzy of bliss. I cry out, but before more words escape, his lips are on mine. He swallows my cries, keeping me quiet as he kisses me through the wild spread of pleasure. As my orgasm ebbs, I open my eyes, woozy and sex-drunk, then meet his gaze. He's smiling, looking satisfied and happy. Harlan drops another kiss to my lips, all soft and sweet.
Thank you for giving me the best 15 minutes I've had in ages.
I grab my lip gloss and reapply it. Those 15 minutes were pretty darn good for me, too. Harlan walks me to the hotel lobby, standing outside with me while I wait for my lift. We're quiet until he reaches for my hand.
I can't wait to see you again. I want you to know how much I'm looking forward to getting to know you.
The feeling is so very mutual. Sure, Harlan's a playboy, if I believe the media and gossip blogs, and yes, I've seen pics of him with beautiful women. But I'm not bothered. Why wouldn't he enjoy the perks of his fame? A gorgeous, talented pro athlete beloved by the city? He's not hurting for offers from the fairer sex. Good for him, and now good for me. I can handle whatever this is, whether it's a date or a prelude to sex. Me too, I say, though a tiny part of me is curious if he'd be interested in more. Maybe another date, maybe seeing what comes of it. A pang in my heart is hungry for a little something more. I wince.
What's wrong, sweetheart?
Legitimate concern imbues his tone. It's so real, so tender, and I like it so much. Perhaps he also feels all this yummy possibility. Nothing, I say with a smile. Just had a good time tonight.
Me too,
he says, grinning back. Then he brings me close again, tucks my hair around my ear.
I mean that, and I truly do want to see you again. We're going to have a great time.
We are absolutely going to. A red Nissan pulls up. As I check the plates, Harlan says,
"Give me your number."
Quickly, we exchange digits, and then he kisses me goodnight and puts me in the car. The driver pulls away. Already, I miss Harlan. I don't have room in my life for more, and yet I just might want it. As the driver pulls onto 19th Avenue, making his way to the airport, my phone beeps. I expect it to be my sister, but it's Harlan. Harlan.
Call me crazy, but that was the best unexpected first date I've had in ages.
It's like he can read my mind. Katie. Me too.
Also, I have your lip gloss. You left it behind, and it's in a glass tube. Fitting, Cinderella.
I grin like an idiot. Tonight was kind of like a dirty fairy tale.
It sure was, sweetheart. Let's turn those pages some more.
I can't get Harlan out of my mind, but I have to the next day when my sister and I meet with a potential business partner about our yoga studio and the new style of classes that we've brainstormed. It's an incredible meeting, and now I'm feeling all kinds of fairy tale-ish, in business and in romance. Everything seems possible.
Chapter 7. Harlan. The best night ever is followed by a great weekend. Texting with Katie, flirting with Katie, winning a football game, making plans for Tuesday. I'm not in the market for a relationship, but there was something about her that was impossible to ignore. A spark, a possibility, a connection I want to explore. I haven't felt this in a long time with anyone. When I leave the field on Sunday and head home, I'm ready to crash, but I send her a text first. Harlan, still can't wait to see you. An hour later, she replies, Katie,
I can't wait to see you too, but I can't make our date this Tuesday. The business partner wants to fly us both to Los Angeles to look at possible studio space there. She loved the classes that we've planned.
That's fantastic news. And no worries, sweetheart. You let me know when you can reschedule.
I promise, sexy man. I need that lip gloss. Need you to mess it up for me.
And I will. We'll have that double scoop of sexual tension swirl and swoon.
Licks lips in anticipation.
A couple nights later, another text lands on my phone. Katie.
So, the business partner made us a crazy amazing offer? The kind of offer that sweeps every other plan off the drawing board? This is last minute, but I'm moving to LA this weekend. Rain check sometime?
Whoa. Harlan. Moving? As in moving to LA now? But even as I send the text, I know the answer. She's made it clear, although I still can't quite believe it. Katie.
Yes, I'm excited, but I'll miss our date, and you. We have to do a rain check.
My shoulders sag and I sigh, the sad kind. But what can you do? Harlan. Definitely. I don't hear from her again, but that's okay. It was one night. I don't text her either because there's no point, nor does she text me. But I hear from Jones and Jillian that she's happy in Los Angeles, building her yoga empire with her sister. So it goes. Sometimes you have one perfect night, and that's all. And sometimes you meet again more than 7 years later. The next time I see Katie, I'm a single dad with a 6-year-old daughter, and it's Katie's wedding day.
Katie and Harlan's romance continues in the full-length novel, A Wild Card Kiss,